Yeah, so in order to make Mars work, we need kind of the next generation of rockets and spacecraft. So we think we've got something that will enable people to move to Mars for approximately $500,000. And you can get a free return ticket with that, by the way.
Mars has fascinated humans for centuries with its towering volcanoes, swirling dust storms, and patches of ice. But what does it really take to reach the red planet? Is it feasible for us to live there, potentially establishing a colony or even a new home? While Elon Musk is optimistic about the prospect of colonizing Mars in the near future, renowned physicist Brian Cox believes that such a venture remains a distant dream. In this video, we'll explore the challenges of conquering the red planet and delve into Brian Cox's perspective on why he thinks colonizing Mars may never become a reality. Let's take a moment to examine our home planet, and you'll quickly realize it's a mix of wonder and dread. Sure, there are electric cars, breathtaking vacation destinations, and endless entertainment on platforms like Netflix. But amidst these comforts lie the shadows of Earth's darker aspects. When we consider Earth's evolutionary history, a staggering 99.9% of all life forms have vanished into extinction. That's right, nearly all life forms that have ever inhabited Earth are now extinct. Today, it's the natural order of life. Adapt or perish, as dictated by Mother Nature. Consider the multitude of hazards we face, some self-inflicted, like global warming and pollution, with no excuses to offer. Yet, there's more. Mother Nature has unleashed numerous extinction events upon Earth throughout its history. Take the dinosaurs, for instance. They lacked a space program, which sealed their fate. The message is clear. We tread on fragile ground on Earth. We've endured thus far, but our survival is not guaranteed if Mother Nature decides otherwise. In the words of Carl Sagan, we inhabit a shooting gallery with countless asteroids yet to be discovered in our path. Therefore, Sagan proposed the idea of becoming a multi-planet species as a precautionary measure. To ensure our survival, we need an insurance policy, a backup plan should anything happen to Earth. Debates have emerged regarding the best approach for safeguarding ourselves. Some advocate for halting pollution and preventing global warming, while others favor the more radical option of relocating to another planet. If Earth were to become uninhabitable, wouldn't it be prudent to depart before becoming unwanted guests? Mars emerges as a potential candidate for our new home despite its challenges. A toxic, thin atmosphere, extreme cold, and a predominantly red landscape. The question remains, will we ever reach and conquer Mars? Elon Musk certainly believes so, which is evident in his substantial investments aimed at reaching the red planet. Mars isn't exactly a short trip away. There are some obstacles in our path. Before we continue, remember to like this video, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for new episodes. Now let's talk about gravity. Try picking up an object and throwing it. Notice how far it travels before falling to the ground. Now, try throwing it harder. It went farther, right? Well, that's because of air resistance. As the object moves through the atmosphere, it loses speed due to air dragging it back, eventually hitting the ground because of gravity. But what if we removed all the air? The object would still hit the ground at the same time because gravity pulls things downward, regardless of how hard you throw them. However, imagine throwing something so fast that it traveled a significant distance horizontally before gravity could pull it down. Throw it hard enough, and it could orbit the Earth, where gravity's influence is less pronounced. The challenge is getting to Mars, and you've got to be crazy fast to make the journey. How fast? Try around 18,000 miles per hour, more or less. Why so fast? Well, there's this pesky thing called the atmosphere that you have to contend with. But if blazing through space isn't your style, you could opt for a slower pace. Just don't forget your heat shield because re-entry isn't exactly gentle. You could even exceed orbital speed and escape Earth's gravity altogether, which is what it takes to reach Mars. But here's the kicker. We don't have the technology yet to go that fast. Right now, our space travel methods involve essentially blowing things up, and letting Newton's laws do the rest. Sending robots to Mars is easy. They don't mind if you forget to pack oxygen or food. But humans? That's a whole different story. We're heavy, and we need to bring along our little bubbles of Earth's ecosystem wherever we go. I mean, who wants to travel to Mars without toothpaste, right? And let's not forget, we're not just sending people to Mars, we're bringing them back too. So you'd better pack some spare rockets and extra fuel for the round trip. See where I'm going with this? Currently, we're quite far from being ready for a journey to Mars. Our reach barely extends to low Earth orbit, let alone Mars. It's a whole different story when you consider establishing a colony. Just think about what it takes to get through a day in your city. Cities are incredibly complex. While we've reconstructed them from scratch before, colonies on Earth are vastly different from what they would be like on Mars. Here on Earth, we have breathable air, water, and soil, and we are in proximity to other cities. The Edmondson Scott South Pole Station, run by the U.S. Science Foundation, resembles a Mars colony, the closest on Earth. Despite having the most essentials, its survival is a challenge. There's the constant threat of cosmic rays, high-energy protons speeding through the universe, whose origin we're still unsure of. They can penetrate DNA like a hot knife through butter. And even though Earth's atmosphere shields us from most, some still manage to slip through, increasing the risk of cancer. Imagine a 2-year journey to Mars. It's exposure on a level beyond comprehension. However, it's not all bleak. Humans excel at thriving amidst challenges, and it seems Mars will be no exception. Some groundbreaking innovations are emerging from our efforts to conquer the Red Planet, demonstrating that despite numerous challenges, conquering Mars is within reach. In reality, there's no fundamental physics-based barrier preventing us from achieving this goal. It's primarily a matter of engineering and financial investment, lots and lots of money. Fortunately, several entities are tackling this challenge head-on. Elon Musk's SpaceX, for instance, is ambitiously working towards establishing a colony on Mars by developing larger, more cost-effective reusable rockets capable of ferrying people and supplies to the Martian surface. Additionally, NASA is constructing the Space Launch System, the largest and most robust rocket ever built, which could facilitate a variety of missions to space, including crewed missions to Mars. However, the collaborative efforts don't stop there. The European and Russian space agencies are joining forces like never before to explore and conduct experiments on the Martian surface. And let's not forget initiatives like Mars One and Mars Direct, each with its own approach to establishing a human presence on Mars. With determination and collective effort, it's only a matter of time before Mars becomes our backup home. Humans are venturing to Mars, babies being born there, and civilization thriving on the Red Planet is not just a far-fetched idea. It's a foreseeable future. It's merely a question of when, and naturally, how much investment we're willing to make. We find ourselves at a point in human history where sending humans to Mars is within reach, an astounding achievement considering that just a few years ago, such a notion seemed outlandish due to technological and economic limitations. Yet, if you were to tell someone from the past about self-driving cars and robots being recognized as citizens, they'd likely find it absurd. Nevertheless, here we stand, on the brink of taking the next giant leap by establishing a presence on Mars. Brian Cox, a renowned physicist and science communicator, holds a skeptical view regarding the feasibility of human colonization of Mars. While acknowledging the allure and ambition behind the idea of settling on another planet, Cox presents several compelling arguments against the practicality of establishing a sustainable human presence on Mars. One of the primary challenges Cox highlights is the immense distance between Earth and Mars. At its closest approach, the two planets are still separated by tens of millions of miles, which poses significant logistical hurdles for transportation, communication, and resource delivery. The vast distance also means that any mission to Mars would require long-duration space travel, exposing astronauts to increased risks associated with cosmic radiation, microgravity effects on the human body, and psychological stress from isolation. Furthermore, Cox emphasizes the inhospitable nature of Mars itself. Unlike Earth, which boasts a relatively stable climate, abundant liquid water, and a protective atmosphere, Mars presents a harsh and unforgiving environment. Its thin atmosphere offers minimal protection from solar radiation and extreme temperature variations, making it difficult for humans to survive without extensive life support systems. Additionally, the lack of a robust magnetic field on Mars exposes its surface to harmful cosmic rays and solar wind, posing long-term health risks to potential colonists. Another significant challenge highlighted by Cox is the limited availability of essential resources on Mars. While the planet may contain traces of water, ice, and minerals, extracting and utilizing these resources on a large scale would require advanced technology and significant energy inputs. Moreover, the Martian soil is not conducive to agriculture, necessitating the development of alternative food production methods, such as hydroponics or synthetic biology. The scarcity of resources on Mars would also limit the planet's capacity to support a large human population, raising questions about the sustainability of any colonization efforts. Cox also raises concerns about the ethical implications of colonizing Mars. He argues that the resources and energy invested in sending humans to Mars could be better allocated to addressing pressing issues on Earth, such as climate change, poverty, and inequality. Furthermore, the potential environmental impact of terraforming Mars, or modifying its ecosystem to make it more hospitable to humans, raises ethical questions about humanity's responsibility to preserve and protect other celestial bodies. In addition to these practical and ethical concerns, Cox emphasizes the inherent risks associated with space exploration and colonization. Despite advances in technology and engineering, space missions remain inherently dangerous, with the potential for catastrophic failures resulting in loss of life and resources. The isolation and confinement of astronauts on Mars would also present significant psychological challenges, requiring robust support systems to maintain their mental health and well-being. Thank you for tuning in. Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments below. Would you consider relocating to Mars? And don't forget to subscribe for future episodes.